Hi, it's Bobbie, and we're going to do poinsettia flowers on a sugar cookie. Let's put these over here. What you need is a sugar cookie. You'll need some 10-second consistency royal icing, and I use 10-second consistency royal icing because I live in Denver. It's very dry in Denver, and my icing tends to set up faster than I want. So we're going to make our circle, since this is a circle cookie. And then we're just going to fill it in with our white. Now I do want to say I had this idea from a candy cane. And then I also realized that I had seen my little bakery do something very, very similar in a YouTube video. So I do want to give her credit since I think my brain must have stayed with that image. I'm just shaking it to get it to set in. And when I say 10-second consistency, that means that within 10 seconds, or actually 10 seconds exactly, when I do anything in my cookie, it will come out to be almost glassy smooth in 10 seconds. I know a lot of people like to use a 15-second consistency, and that's fine if you're in Illinois or New York or DC, but I tend to have trouble here in Colorado, and rather than fight my icing, I just do it this way. So I'm going to put, all of my icing is the same 10 second, it's just colored. So I put a dot of pink, and then I'm going to put a line of red around my pink, a line of, it's a pink mixed with the red. And to make my red, I took violet, a egg gold or yellow gold, and two different kinds of red, Christmas red and red red. And that's how I got my very red color. I'm going to take my scriber, draw through, come up and around like a petal, come back in, up and around like a petal, come back in again, up and around, up and around. Circle in the middle. And then because it's a poinsettia, I'm going to bring out the petals' points. Just like that. And then I'm going to bring in some very pretty leaves. And this is just moss green. I'm keeping my bag, or my icing in its bag, under a damp paper towel so that my icing doesn't dry out. I have now dotted my little green to pick up the color that's in the flower, just to give it a secondary color, and I'm dragging my scriber through. And if you want, you can make it look more like a holly flower and bring out the sides a little bit, like that, or you can leave it plain. I'm going to let this sit for a good probably hour, and then I will put a border on that. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you when I put my border on. Thank you. Hi, it's Bobbie, and we're back with our wet on wet poinsettia cookie. It has dried enough that we can put our border on. I've decided to do a snail's tail, so we want it, it's not completely dry, like if I really pushed hard we'd crack the whole thing, but it's dry enough that I can lightly scratch against it, and I'll show you what I mean if you've never seen a snail's tail. I'm working with an Acedio number 2 tip, and to do a snail's tail, think of a strand of pearls, and all you want to do is make a nice bobless ball, release pressure once you have your ball, and bring out that tail, scratching against lightly your surface. And that one didn't go down the way I want, so I'm just going to kind of coax it down. There we go. I didn't scratch hard enough. Make sure to keep your tip clean. I have a wet rag on hand to wipe off my tip in case it gets dirty. And you just want to make sure that you bring your tube or your piping tip back far enough that you can make the exact same size and that you have that little strand in between. You don't want it to be a big strand, but enough that people can see that it's not just dots, that they're connected. And it's not one motion. You're putting pressure, releasing pressure, scratching against the surface. I'll show you again. You're pressuring, making it connect, and scratching against your surface. Almost a teardrop shape. Pressure, release pressure, pull back. I just think it's a really elegant touch, especially this time of year. If you find that you have one that you don't like and it's not that bad, leave it. If it's going to drive you crazy, wait a few minutes, maybe like 2, and you can remove it with a scribing tool. You just have to be very careful not to damage the one behind it. And because this is red, it will stain your white royal icing underneath. And today I'm working with royal icing and not fondant because I want to show you the wet on wet technique. So I'm going to finish going around. I'll be back to show you how to connect our snail's tail in just a few minutes. So we're almost to the end of our connection. And this is the part where most people start getting nervous. I'll show you my trick. We're getting it in there. And it looking like it belongs there. So you can't see the connection. So this will be our last little pearls or snail's tail dot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. I'm going to be careful not to smush the one that I put in first. I'm going to release and that's it. It's connected and you can't even tell. I appreciate your time. I hope you've had fun learning this technique for wet on wet. And this makes a wonderful teacher's gift, or anybody could, your hairdresser, a friend, package them up pretty and put a little label on there, and you've got a beautiful Christmas treat gift to give to your favorite somebody. So I will see you at the next video. Thanks for your time.